Thailand to legalize same-sex marriage. Nancy Pelosi and other U.S. lawmakers meet with Dalai Lama. Explosion at Chad military ammunition depot. Southern China faces heavy floods and landslides. Extreme heat kills hundreds of Muslim pilgrims. Aston Martin opens 66-story residential tower in Miami.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Thursday, June 20th, and here are your top stories. Thailand will become the first nation in Southeast Asia to legalize same-sex marriage after the kingdom's Senate approved a marriage equality bill on Tuesday, with supporters calling it a monumental step forward for LGBTQ+ rights. The Senate voted overwhelmingly in favor of passing the bill following a final reading, with 130 senators voting in favor and only 4 members opposing the bill. The bill still requires endorsement from the king before marriage equality can become a reality in Thailand, but this process is considered a formality. The law will then come into effect 120 days after it is published in the Royal Gazette.
The result of the vote means that Thailand will become only the third place in Asia to allow marriage equality, following Taiwan, which legalized same-sex marriage in 2019, and Nepal in 2023. The bill grants LGBTQ+ couples the same legal rights and recognition as heterosexual couples, including rights related to inheritance, adoption, and healthcare decision-making. The marriage equality bill was supported by all the major parties and marks a significant step in cementing the country's reputation as one of the friendliest in the region toward gay, lesbian, and transgender people. Previous attempts to legalize marriage equality over the past decade had stalled. In 2020, the Constitutional Court ruled that Thailand's current law, which stipulates marriage as being between a man and a woman, was constitutional.
A group of U.S. lawmakers met with Tibetan spiritual leader the Dalai Lama in India on Wednesday, a move likely to anger China. The visit came as President Joe Biden appears poised to sign a bill pressuring Beijing to resolve tensions with Tibet and protect the region's native Buddhist culture. The bipartisan delegation of 7 lawmakers, led by Rep. Michael McCaul, R. Texas, and including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, D. Calif, arrived Tuesday in Dharamshala, a Himalayan town in northern India where the Dalai Lama, 88, has lived in exile since fleeing China in 1959 after a failed Tibetan uprising against Chinese rule.
McCall said Tuesday that Biden would soon sign a bill passed by Congress last week that presses Beijing to resume negotiations with the Dalai Lama and other Tibetan leaders that have been frozen since 2010 and to address the Tibetan people's concerns about their cultural, religious, and linguistic autonomy. The lawmakers' meeting with the Dalai Lama is likely to irritate Beijing at a time when the U.S. and China are trying to improve relations. Beijing views the 1989 Nobel Peace Laureate as an anti-China separatist, which he denies, and opposes any contact with him by foreign officials. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said Tuesday that affairs related to Tibet were an internal Chinese matter and that China would take resolute measures to defend its sovereignty, security, and development interests.
A government spokesperson said Wednesday that 9 people were killed and more than 40 people injured when a fire set off explosions at a military ammunition depot in Chad's capital. 46 people are being treated for various injuries after the explosions in the Guji district of the capital. Local media reported the blasts started just before midnight Tuesday and lasted more than 30 minutes as nearby buildings shook and ammunition was thrown from the depot with explosive force. Authorities and witnesses said Wednesday that explosions and fire at a military ammunition depot in Chad's capital caused fatalities and set off frantic efforts to put out the fire and treat the wounded.
The explosions late Tuesday at the depot in N'Djamena lit up the sky as thick smoke covered the clouds in the West African nation. President Mahamat Debi Itno posted on Facebook, saying the fire caused human and material damage. Peace to the souls of the victims, sincere condolences to the bereaved families, and quick recovery to the injured. Resident Omar Mahamat said the cause of the fire was not immediately clear, and the president stated that an investigation would be conducted. People living in the area panicked, thinking the explosion was an armed attack. The situation was later brought under control with security and health officials deployed in the area. Authorities called on residents to stay out of the area, which was taken over by security forces gathering the scattered artillery shells.
Southern China was reeling Tuesday from heavy rains that triggered landslides, killing at least 9 people and knocking out power for entire villages and burying crops. Meanwhile, northern parts of the country are battling drought as the country faces 2 extremes of severe weather. 4 people were killed and 2 others were missing in Wuping County in the coastal province of Fujian due to landslides caused by torrential rain. Severe downpours started on Sunday afternoon, with authorities measuring 372.4 millimeters of rainfall over a 24-hour period.
According to the official Xinhua news agency, at least 378 houses collapsed in the county, and 880 hectares of crops were damaged, amounting to economic losses of at least 415 million yuan in Wuping. In the southern Guangdong province, bordering Hong Kong, landslides triggered by severe flooding killed at least 5 people in the city of Meizhou. According to local media reports, 15 others were missing. More than 130,000 households in Meizhou experienced power outages, with some neighboring towns and villages out of contact as of Monday. 3 helicopters and more than 200 teams of rescuers were searching for survivors and delivering aid to the affected areas. More than 11,000 people were moved after the Hanjiang River in South China's Pearl River Basin flooded, drowning crop fields and inundating homes. In the southwestern Guizhou province, more than 1,100 people were evacuated due to flooding in several counties.
According to press reports and foreign ministries, hundreds of visitors have died during the annual Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca amid scorching heat. Diplomats told French outlet agents France Press on Tuesday at least 550 people have died on Hajj. AFP reported, citing 2 Arab diplomats, that 323 of the dead were Egyptians, most of whom perished due to heat-related illness. Reuters was not able to immediately verify those numbers. Stampedes, tent fires, and other have caused hundreds of deaths during Hajj to Saudi Arabia in the past 30 years.
The pilgrimage began on Friday. Saudi state TV said temperatures rose on Monday to as high as 51.8 degrees Celsius in the shade at the Grand Mosque in Mecca. A 2024 study by the Journal of Travel Medicine found that rising global temperatures may outpace strategies to deal with the heat. A 2019 study in Geophysical Research Letters said that as temperatures rise in arid Saudi Arabia due to climate change, pilgrims performing Hajj will face extreme danger. 35 Tunisian citizens have died during the Hajj, many due to extreme heat, while other families continue to search for missing relatives in Saudi hospitals. The Jordanian Foreign Ministry said it had issued 41 burial permits for Jordanian pilgrims on Tuesday.
Miami has a new addition to its skyline, a 66-story residential tower built by Aston Martin, marking the British luxury sports car maker's first foray into the residential real estate market. The firm said in a statement on Tuesday that Aston Martin Residences Miami comprises 391 units and sits at the mouth of the Miami River on Biscayne Bay. Designed in partnership with architect Rodolfo Miani of Bodas Mian Anger and built by G&G Business Developments, the 249-meter-tall building houses 7 penthouses, each with private pools and terraces, as well as apartments ranging in size from 1 to 5 bedrooms.
The largest unit is the unique triplex penthouse, arranged over 3 floors at the top of the building, which remains on the market for $59 million. The property was officially opened on Tuesday. The company said in a statement that it was timed to coincide with the Formula One Miami Grand Prix, marking the latest distinct expression of Aston Martin's ultra-luxury high-performance brand. Featuring an infinity pool with a pool deck, jacuzzis, and cabanas on the 55th floor, the sail-shaped complex also includes a 2-floor fitness center, 2 movie theaters, and a virtual golf simulator. The building has a sky bar and lounge, a chef's kitchen, a ballroom, private dining areas, as well as a spa, beauty salon, and barber shop. Direct access to the sea via a superyacht marina is also available, along with a private butler service.
The answer for yesterday was C, flanked. The altar was flanked by 2 Christmas trees. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of Thailand to legalize same-sex marriage. Number 1, monumental. 非常大或好或坏的. For example, we have a monumental task ahead of us. Number 2, formality, 例行公事. He already knows he has the job, so the interview is a mere formality. Number 3, overwhelming, 巨大的、压倒性的、无法抗拒的. The overwhelming majority of those present were in favor of the plan. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.